Alright, welcome to this episode of my playthrough of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. We are currently underwater, as you can see. And, most importantly, there's no breath bar up at the top of the screen, because Yennefer is on a boat on the surface, and she has cast a spell to basically give us unlimited breath. Because she's enlisted our help looking for a Djinn, which supposedly was captured and tamed by someone whose ship disappeared in this area. And so she's really interested in finding that Djinn to gain power, and she's enlisted Geralt's help to do that. Now this here is an interesting phenomenon. It's not a natural phenomenon, it's a perfectly spherical crater filled with water, and she says it's the result of teleportation. And Geralt's like, well, I always said teleportation was dangerous. At the bottom here, we found a ship with some fine tableware, which the person who enslaved the Djinn was no pauper, so it might have been his ship. And we found a broken seal, which Yennefer is very interested in. So let's go back to the surface and show her the broken seal and see what happens, okay? Yeah, I mean, like, look at how perfectly spherical this is. And you can see how perfectly circular this lagoon is.
Only found half. Can you do anything with this?
I can use it to locate the other half, to within a dozen yards.
And once we find that, we should find the Djinn.
Exactly. Ready? I'll take us there on the count of 3.
Oh, no, not another portal.
Stop whining. 1, 2... Three.
Said you were gonna go on 3.
I did. Look, we must search the area.
Yen, not so fast. Gotta tell me what this is about first. Why do you want this Djinn?
But you already know. A Djinn's power is priceless to a mage.
Tell me or I leave, or why do you want this power?
That I know, but I also want to know how you plan to use it. Wouldn't go to these lengths if it wasn't something important.
You're right. It's important. Even very important. How long has this been going on, Geralt? This thing between us? 15, 20 years? We repeatedly split up, then returned to one another. Something draws us to each other, but I can never be certain if it's a true feeling or merely a bit of mischief by a Djinn.
So that's it. This is about my last wish?
You asked that Djinn to bind us together forever. I want to ask this one to take that wish back.
Why would you want to do that?
To see what it's like without it. To see if we'll still matter to one another. Or if we'll be like two strangers.
Fine, let's do it, or what if I don't want to? I've already chosen Triss as my romantic choice for this playthrough, and I've gone into detail several times as to why. So, sure, let's break that connection.
Wondered that myself many times.
You see, we're just a step away from learning the truth. Come, let's search the ship.
Seems Amos was quite the eccentric, asking the Djinn to lift half his ship to a mountaintop.
He didn't necessarily. Djinns are inherently mischievous. This one might have granted his wish and perverted it in doing so.
In that case, I'd appreciate it if you didn't wish I'd disappear from your life.
I've yet to decide how to word it.
I was going to say, what's a ship doing on a mountaintop, assuming that it was a mountaintop. I looked around and yep, it is definitely a mountaintop. And then I remembered the whole teleportation thing. Where are we? I'm curious. Oh, we're all the way up here. Haha. So we went from here, that's the boat we parked, to up here. Hot damn, that is a hell of a view. Or cold damn, as the case may be.
We should explore the ship.
Blood on the door, that's a great starting point. Yes, I see the red thing in the cabin. But the red thing in the cabin may start the process. What the hell, let's take a look.
Nothing here.
Then why is it red? Bread, dark iron ore, cotton coal, Perun runestone.
Nothing interesting here.
Alright, so it's not in the cabin, it's going to be down below deck, because that's the only place we haven't been yet. Yeah, let's not fall off. That would be bad.
Interesting.
Lesser Glyph of Yrden, Freya Warrior's Armor, Silver, Cured Leather, Thread. There's a bottle there. Of course the genie's going to be in the bottle.
Mystery of Mysteries, Agnes of Glanville.
I don't think I've read that one. Among the many creatures of our world, there are but two that are able to draw and absorb the power, and these are cats and dragons. Both species instinctively sense the presence of magic intersections and often choose them as resting places, which is strange, for other animals avoid these same spots. Numerous theories attempt to explain this behavior, but none do so with thorough success. Some scholars claim dragons use the power they imbibe to fly, for as the natural philosophers have proven, no creature of their size and mass should be capable of lifting itself into the air using such meager wings. As for cats, there is a theory stating the power is behind their gift for seeing things in complete darkness. Others claim this ability is theirs by nature, and they use the power of the intersections for other unknown purposes. Indeed, that all members of the Felidae genus are able to see beings from other planes, invisible persons, and emanations of the power has been proven beyond any doubt on numerous occasions.
Nice shoes. Looks like the impact with the mountain was so powerful it popped the wearer right out of them.
Ha ha ha. Elemental Essence, Alchemy Paste, Lesser Glyph of Yrden, Lesser Glyph of Ard, Fiber, Lesser Stribog Runestone, and White Wolf Hide.
Wonder what this means. Wonder what this means.
Okay, so that's not where the genie is. Deer Hide.
Elemental Empires by Gian Battista.
None of the 4 planes or dimensions, those of fire, water, earth, and air, is accessible to mere mortals. They are inhabited, however, by creatures known as genies. There are 4 types, each corresponding to one of the 4 elements which comprise their respective essences. Each type of genie also counts its antithesis among the others. Thus, the Marides, aligned with the element of water, are opposed by the fiery Ifrits. The plane of earth is inhabited by the Dao genies, and the dimension of air, which opposes it, is home for Jinni, whose name, incidentally, is the root of the word genie. This last term often used by simple folk to refer to all creatures that inhabit the elemental planes, which is an obvious blunder. Unusually powerful sorcerers can sometimes bind such beings and bend them to their will, thus acquiring tremendous might to the point of near omnipotence. For a genie, being the living personification of an element's energies is akin to an almost boundless reservoir of the power. Thus, its master can draw energy from the genie for spellcasting without the tiresome need to channel from traditional sources. However, those who are able to bind a genie are few and far between, for the strength of the inhabitants of the 4 planes is matched only by the cunning which they employ to avoid such a fate.
Mage must have slept here. Wonder what this means.
Yeah, these streaks along the floor are going to be like one of the last things I check out. Vela's runestone, dark iron ore, and alkahest. Yeah, actually, why not?
Blood. Someone was dragged across the deck. Or left this mark when the ship suddenly tipped to one side. Nothing here. Nothing interesting here.
Well, I think that's everything. I don't see any more red anything. No.
Yen, think you should see this.
What do you have? It's Amos. Looks exactly like the etching in the book. Except his head was intact there.
Think the Djinn did this to him?
No, it wouldn't attack its master. This looks rather like an unfortunate accident. When the storm broke, Amos must have uttered a wish like, "Take us away, anywhere, to a mountaintop, even." And the Djinn granted the wish literally. They had a hard landing. Amos was thrown off his feet and against the wall. The bookcase did the rest.
Always knew too much studying could kill you. If he died while being teleported, Seal might still be on him. Behold.
Bravo! Come to the deck. I've an idea.
Cold's preserved the corpse. Died from head trauma. Bookcase cracked his skull. Must have been a hard landing atop this mountain.
Oh yeah, she's up there.
Step back a bit.
What are you going to do?
Summon and tame the Djinn. It's not likely to be happy. Stand at the ready.
Tame Djinn, Rif Kaishta ein Gaia, Kaishta et Disclair, Gevired me Castle.
You must weaken him while I draw him into the sphere.
Care to trade places?
It's gone down below. Alright. I'll go down... Since it's not coming back up here, I'll go down there with it. Silver sword is damaged, so let's heal. Let's repair that up.
Cold's preserved the corpse. Bookcase cracked his skull. Must have been a hard landing atop this mountain.
Got you! Your master died before uttering his last wish. I cannot capture you. We can struggle like this for eternity, or I can release you. If you do one thing for me. Do you see the spell that binds us? Only a Djinn can remove another Djinn's spell. Remove this one and you'll be free.
Storm's over.
Yes. It's all over.
Maybe we should sit. You look a bit dazed.
I'm not, but we can sit.
Bit better now, or we beat the Djinn?
We've improved. Last time we tamed a Djinn, we destroyed half of Rind.
Yes, we make a good team. Thank you for coming, Geralt. I'd have had a much harder time of it on my own.
Couldn't have refused, or if I'd known what this was about, I'd have refused.
Well, never could say no to you.
Perhaps that will change now.
Feel anything? That anything's different?
I expected... I don't know what I expected, actually. A bit of vertigo, perhaps. I thought you'd become a stranger to me. That I'd look at you and not feel a thing. But it's not like that at all. Nothing's changed.
I still love you too, or sorry, but I don't want to be with you anymore. Now, as I've outlined in the past, if you try and romance both Triss and Yennefer, it does not go well for Geralt. I'm not going to go into detail, but I am going to avoid that. So, since I have already locked in Triss as my romantic interest, I am going to have to say no to Yennefer to avoid that. Also, just as I said, that selfishness that she has isn't appealing to me.
Sorry, Yen, but magic's gone for me.
Truly? But how is that possible? I still feel the same. You should too. I don't understand. What does this mean?
Means the Djinn granted your wish.
Right. Fine. Good. Glad we've got that over with. We know where we stand, at least. Naught left for us here. Let's go.
Wait. Magic's gone, true, but that doesn't mean I don't like spending time with you. Let's sit a while. Next time we go on horseback.
A horse would never make it down that mountain.
What now?
Well, I'm due to appear in Vizima.
Let's talk before you leave. If you gotta go, go. I actually completely agree with Geralt there. Just because you don't feel about somebody that particular way doesn't mean you don't value them, doesn't mean you don't enjoy their company, doesn't mean you don't care for them. And just because I am more romantically inclined to Triss than Yennefer does not mean that I don't want Yennefer around. Also, this is just something I hate having to say things like that. I'm absolutely 100% committed to being honest, but I hate hurting people. I hate being the cause of pain, even if it is truth. The look on Yennefer's face when we turned her down was hard for me, honestly. And speaking of me as a player, not necessarily Geralt. Though I think he felt the same way.
Yen, what happened back there?
Please, Geralt. There's nothing left to say. I'm off.
Me too. I'll collect Uma from the Baron, then we'll ride for Kaer Trolde.
I shall join you as quickly as I can. Farewell.
So long, Yen.
And we're back in Kaer Trolde.
Geralt?
So, I expected her to just disappear, but I can say I want to talk about the past, the Wild Hunt, or Yen wanted to talk about me and Triss.
Ever think about the past? About your time with the Hunt?
At times, I'm amazed we survived. Eredin's not usually one to leave witnesses behind.
That's just it. He didn't. Lost my memory when I escaped the Hunt.
Ah, yes. Your famous amnesia.
You didn't have it?
For a short time only. Once the Emperor's mages got their hands on me, my memory quickly returned.
Oh boy, a whole bunch to talk about. And you know me, I like my content, so I'm gonna go through all of it.
When the Hunt had you, hope they didn't hurt you.
Even if they did, I've no memory of it. The whole time's but a string of phantom images. Blood and fire. A wild chase through different worlds. All shrouded in fog. Though I do remember you coming for me, trading your life for mine. I hadn't the chance to thank you then.
You'd have done the same for me.
I'm touched by your certainty. But you've yet to tell me how you escaped them.
Wouldn't mind knowing that myself. There are times I remember rushing forward, Red Riders around me. Next thing I know, I'm in the woods at the foot of Kaer Trolde. That's it. What did Eredin want from you exactly?
The same thing he wanted from you. You don't recall?
Draw a blank on most of my time with him.
We were bait, Geralt. Both of us. Eredin believed Ciri would come for us sooner or later and he would capture her. Fortunately, she didn't fall for it.
How do you go from being the Emperor's hostage to being his ally?
One day, the door of my cell opened, and instead of seeing the usual officer, I saw Emir. He promised to release me and grant me free reign of the Imperial Treasury, provided I did what he asked.
He told you about Ciri, and you accepted his offer. Why?
Shared aims make for strange bedfellows. I knew I had to find Ciri before Eredin did, and if any man had the power and the means to help me, it was the Emperor. Besides, once all's said and done, he is her father.
Why didn't you look for me after you'd recovered your memory and your freedom?
I assumed you would recover quickly and find me first.
You had mages to help you. I was on my own.
Well, not entirely. Besides, I knew you'd fled the hunt. Eredin would never have let you go. He'd erased my memory, but you escaped. It was wholly possible he hadn't had the chance with you. And there were your Witcher mutations. I expected they'd stave off any serious injury.
Still can't get something out of my mind.
What?
So now I'm going to go down the branch of Yen wanted to talk about me and Triss.
Yen, can we talk?
Why? So you can ask me if we can remain friends despite all?
No, I mean...
Come now, Geralt. I know you. Well enough to know exactly what's going on with you and Triss. Now, I cannot say I'm not tempted to, intervene, but I believe I'll let it lie this time. How about that? You came here to fumble your way through an explanation, yet instead of enjoying the show, I went and did your job for you.
Seems so.
But now, enough of this maudlin business. We've something to do, remember?
That is possibly, aside from the whole wanting to help Ciri thing, that is possibly the most selfless thing I've seen Yen do at all. She really does care for Geralt. Even if she doesn't seem to care about anybody else, or anybody else's wishes, or well-being for that matter.
Thanks, Yen. See you later.
Well, since I'm at about 50-60% health, I'm going to meditate. There we are. And what do we want to do next? I've picked up some loot, but it's not really a big deal. So with this having been wrapped up,
Don't eat so much. Why the spit not? Have you seen the plan?
I'm going to head back to Fiersdal.
Bottom's almost flat.
Smear your ass with the pill to me.
As if something was tearing me.
Turns out they spoke the truth about it. Get tired, huh?
And I am going to call an end to the episode here. You know the drill. Click over there. Join me next time when we take a boat and start exploring some more of those points of interest between Ardskellig and Pharaoh. I had to think to remember the name of that island. So I'll see you then.